Just how much has March Madness changed the draft position for some future NBA players? Well, we're going to find out in a moment. What is up, NBA fans? Shout out to my San Antonio Spurs fans. Welcome to TSR Sports. And I came across an article from Yahoo Sports this morning, 2025 NBA Draft, 10 biggest movers of March Madness. I'm assuming that's up and maybe down. I will throw this out there. I'm a little concerned this is a joke because the date on it is April 1st, but I'm thinking this isn't the type of article you would do an April Fool's on, so hopefully this is legit from Kevin O'Connor. Spoiler alert, Walter Clayton Jr., I did see he's the first one, and he's right there on the title, so let's get into this. Maybe this is a player you've been looking at that you might want on your team, or maybe a player that you're hoping your team doesn't draft. This is a live reaction, so let's get into it. Whoops, I went a little too far there. Walter Clayton Jr., the guard from Florida, he jumped from 55 Bronny James territory to number 30. Against UConn in the round of 32, Clayton Jr. dropped 23 points and erupted in the final 5 minutes to clinch the game. He had a mid-range pull-up, a sidestep three, and a fadeaway dagger to close it. Well, okay. This is actually not a guy I'm familiar with. Probably some of these second rounders, I'm not going to be familiar with a lot of them. I focus very heavily on the lottery, being a Spurs fan. This is not a player I've heard of, but to jump from 55 to 30th, that is, wow, that is impressive. So Walter Clayton Jr., maybe, that's a lot of extra money in the pocket if that's the case. Who's up next? LeBaron Falan, Alabama guard from 31st to 23rd. His play in the tournament was up and down, just like it was throughout his freshman year at Bama. But even against Duke's vaunted defense, he looked comfortable using his speed to get where he wanted on the floor while playing with pace and poise, the old double P's. And he made 46% of his three-pointers in 4 tournament games. Okay, good jump, 31 to 23. My curiosity really with this article is, did any players jump from like the back end of the first round, 20 to 30, into the lottery? This is what I really want to see. Did players make that huge jump? Because that's a big financial gain as well. Or did any players go the other way from lottery pick to second rounder? Number 3, Milos Uzan. My apologies to these players messing up their names. These are names I haven't seen before. He jumped from 38 to 31. Okay, nice little jump. But I want to see something really flashy, something crazy. Come on, give it to me, Kevin. Tyrese Proctor & Gamble, the Duke guard, from 30th to 24th. Okay? I gotta say, guys, this article's not getting a lot of movement in the pants, if you know what I'm saying. That was a bad comment. Anyway, Johnny Broom, from 52 to 46. All right, moved up 6. Darian Williams doesn't even get a write-up. My man at number 6 doesn't. Oh, okay, he's part of the write-up with J.J. Toppin. He goes from 43 to 39, and J.J. Toppin went from 36 to 33. Both from Texas Tech. Singular. Okay. This seems like all second-round picks. All right, this is a player I've been keeping an eye on as a San Antonio Spurs fan. You guys have talked about him a lot, so I do want to focus on this player. Sorry to anybody that's not a Spurs fan, but Danny Wolf is an intriguing prospect, and let's talk about him. He moved from 28 to 26. Spurs fans, you've talked about drafting him maybe with our second pick. Right now we're set to pick around 15. He's saying that would be a reach. Do you agree, disagree? Let's get into the part about Danny Wolf. I'm admittedly a skeptic of Wolf. He made about 34% of his threes and only 60% of his free throws with Michigan. Numbers just as subpar as his first 2 years with Yale. Big Ten play-by-play announcer Noah Eagle said on my podcast that there's belief his struggles at the free throw line are mental. Well, I don't like that. Which worries me even more, since it's hard to solve whatever's going on between the ears. Yeah, I'm with them so far. Especially after he just made only 25% of his free throws in the tournament. We got a big name coming up, by the way. I see Colin Malowatch right there. Wow, did he move? He had to have moved up, right? But it's hard to ignore just how fluently Wolf moves as a 7-footer. And he dropped 20 points scoring in a myriad of ways against Auburn's excellent defense with a step-back 3 and tons of swirly drives to the basket with crossovers, hesitations, and backdowns. There's something worth the gamble in the tournament. Wait, I went to the wrong sentence. They're worth the gamble in the late first. Good grief. If I'm an NBA GM, which thank goodness I'm not, but if I'm drafting in the mid to late first round, and most if most analysis scouts have him as a late first rounder, I don't think I draft a guy 10 spots, let's say, higher than what he's projected to go. Granted, on your books, you might say this guy is a lottery pick, and somebody else may say he's a second-round pick. In the end, it's going to be what your team desires are, what your needs, and how you evaluate the player. It doesn't matter. In the end, what everybody's evaluating a player as, it's what you evaluate the player. And that can certainly win to some home runs. Nikola Jokic in the second round, Manu Ginobili in the second round, some strikeouts. Joshua Primo is a 12th overall pick. But I'll be very curious to see where Danny Wolf goes in the draft. And now, Malawach. Did he move up? I'm really, this is the one that's got me pretty. It went from 5 to 4. 5 to 4. That's the biggest jump, one spot. I mean, yeah, financially, that's going to give him more money. I don't see Malawach making it out of the top 6. I would be shocked. The Final Four, of course, has not happened yet, so that could change things a bit. But I think I don't see him leaving the top 6. But stranger things have happened. A few years ago, Jalen Duren thought for sure in the 2022 NBA draft that he was going to be drafted top 7, top 8. It gets to my Spurs at pick number 9. I'm like, holy crap, Jalen Duren's available. Who would have thought? Take him. Nope. And he goes right by him. We take Jeremy Simon, and Duren was eventually drafted 11th or 13th, I believe. So you never know in draft night. You just never know what teams are going to do. And I believe this is the last one. Last but not least, Cooper. Now I feel like this is an April Fool's joke. Why is Cooper Flagg on this list? He's been number 1 for like forever. Wasn't the name of this article, the biggest movers of March Madness? He didn't move. Why you got him on here? I'm now feeling like this is an April Fool's joke. That's it. What are we doing here? Why is Cooper Flagg on this list? No. All right, I'm done. Kevin O'Connor, I'm done with you. Danny Wolf intrigues me, and the whole first round intrigues me. This is a deep draft. We have a lot of players from Duke that are going to go in the lottery. You've got, obviously, Cooper Flagg, Malawach, Conk Nipple. I mean, just, wow. As somebody who lives in Connecticut, I'm going to be, focusing on where the UConn players go as well. They have 2 players, I think, entering the draft, Liam McNeely and Caravan. So we'll see what happens with them. It's going to be a fun time. It's a fun time for NBA fans. Let me ask you this, guys. Were there any big surprises here? There weren't as many name players, lottery players, but I suppose their draft positions kind of been mostly set, much like Cooper Flagg with not moving in his ranking. A lot of those guys in the lottery really not going to be moving up and down a lot, barring something crazy happening in the Final Four. So let me know, any player here that we talked about, you're like, hey, you know what? I would like that guy. Or TSR, I've been following that guy. And yeah, he moved up in the draft, in these draft rankings. He should have moved up even more. I'd be very curious on the feedback on this. Appreciate your support. Hit the thumbs up if you'd like more content like this, because I haven't done a lot of videos like this previously in previous years. But when I don't have a Spurs video for the day, I'll do some draft coverage or free agency coverage or whatever. So I just like talking basketball, talking to you guys. So like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you, and as always, go Spurs, go.
Go Spurs, go! 'Cause the Giants stay.